She has 3 herniated discs plus life.
In her low back.
Right. So I've never worked on Terry Lynn. I shouldn't say her name. So anyway, I've never worked on her before. So when I go after the sacrum, so right now, as you can see, for what I was talking about before, she's not reacting at all to my movement or touch.
Yeah.
And again, when I say that, it's an observation. It's not. Does that make sense to you, though? So I'm going to go come up here a little bit too. Same thing. Now I can really feel it in her chest cavity. You see how? I feel it that way. I don't care if you disagree with me, but that's where I feel it. Sorry.
No, it doesn't.
So, can you feel how your back is connected to the chest? Just what I was just doing with your son.
Yeah.
Okay? So now, that's basically my idea of an evaluation. I'm going to get to work. So I'm going to concentrate on the sacrum. Okay, hold on. We'll wait for phones to stop. Yeah. So do you really feel, if I apply just a little bit more pressure, how your lower back has a problem with the rotation?
Well, that one's scared.
What?
That one's scared because I know it hurts.
Okay. Now, first of all, my table, I don't allow any pain. Okay? Now, so are you comfortable?
Yes.
Okay. So with my touch so far, am I hurting you in
No,
any
not
way,
at
shape,
all.
or form? The reason this stuff works is because I don't allow force or pain. Because all you've learned is if I move that way, it hurts. But if you're afraid it all for me to work on you, you don't have to work on it.
No, I want her to because I asked her.
There we go. See, now you've just made the switch. Do you feel that? Do you feel now how my touch or movement's going through your system? So my touch right now is just literally like putting joining a crust on a pie bed. So I'm just going in just like a rim of a pie. And then I'm going to come right up in here and just sink the spine just a little bit. When I sink the spine, and that's where you're going to see the counter with the base of the tailbone. As the spine goes down, this tailbone should go up. So now this is where I'm applying the rotation. So I'm going in and I'm just lightly rotating my right hand. And you feel there how this is how your baby's starting to go into a pre-crawl. See now when I touch you, do you feel how now your knee looks like it's starting to look for the table? Now again, you're comfortable, right?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
There you go. So now see the extension of your leg going down?
Yes. Well, you can feel it.
Yeah, unfortunately I always say see because I'm seeing everyone else is going to feel nobody. Now notice, this would be a force. You feel just the difference of that touch versus just going. Now your area of the back hasn't worked like this in a long time. So there's no difference with my touch now that when I took Mason and did the back bend, when I said he's never breathed in this position, I'm just letting him hang out. Now, if he was panicking again, or you were panicking, I've done too much. There you go. Now, see how your tush is slowly looking for the floor. This is the difference between getting in and out of a car. You feel the difference?
Yeah.
Also notice my hand here the whole time to protect your vestibular. If I take the hand away, feel the difference in the movement. See, this is where, yeah. Unbelievable that you can take, quote, a healthy nervous system and you mess with the vestibular. And this is where you see me with the babies. I'm always at the butt. I'm always at their pelvis. So now that I've done all of this up here, I'm just going back to the original movement to see if I made a difference. Just like I did with me. I worked on him, and when I just go back and see, you know, did he get up easier? Now look at feel the difference. Notice how, too, you're slowly getting quicker. Notice, see how my touch is getting quicker, and you can respond to it just as fast. But it'd be way too early to, quote, shake you or do anything like that. So now that I'm touching into where the discs are probably herniated, I'm just slightly taking my left hand and rotating it up while I'm applying touch into the lower vertebrae. But this is where it's difficult for you to lift the arm up. Do you feel that? See, if you're lying down and if it's difficult for me to lift your arm up, then it's I don't even have to ask you that it's difficult for you to do it. I know it. I talk like that so people at least feel that, you know, I acknowledge their system, I know what's going on with them. So now with that, I'm just going to come up here. Now I'm going to hold the shoulder in this position while I go back here. Back to the lower sacrum and to the SI joint. There you go. And now I'm going to let that go, and there we go. Oh, I did too, but it wasn't. No, he's fine. He didn't spit up. Yeah. There we go. See now how the arms are starting to react? And that's walking. Just like I was doing stuff to him saying, well, that's a pre-crawl. See how you're walking? See, just in that light movement, how your arms are countering to the pelvis. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
That's what I do with the babies. Now look at the difference. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
But look at the difference now turning the alarm off in bed. Just see now how the rotation's coming back into your system.
Mm-hmm.
Now what's really going to get interesting on you, stay there. And this is to help you understand these. Watch the difference of what I'm going to do with just the wrist. Now I'm just going to do a little quickie. So see, your wrist doesn't rotate. This is my argument for the pulse up. Or just the way he's coming up onto all fours, but he's already a bit different now with the arms, right?
Mm-hmm. He's got him out running against the... Yeah, now he's
So I'm going in, not so much the rotation of the hand, but more so with the relationship of the ulna. There we go. Feel that? The ulna and the radius. So now her wrist is nicely and rotating. Because with you, that rotation was there. I'm just bringing it out. With the babies, they haven't developed that conversation. So someone needs to go in, going, hey, did you know you could do that? And once they do, they go, it's just like when a baby starts to walk. And then they're within that same day, they're already trying to climb your bookshelves. And it's like, can we just stay on walking? And they don't know that they're just supposed to be at that level. Once they have a bigger vocabulary, they play with it. As we become adults, we don't play with that anymore. So our vocabulary starts to diminish as theirs is rising. But watch just the difference of that little bit on the wrist and what it's going to do for your tush. So I'm going to go back in. I haven't changed my touch. Still a difference. See now how your collarbones, your face is freer.
I'll go more between her hands and her feet.
So I'm just going back in here with the sacred, and again, it's just, I go in like I'm patting crust, but it's a light lift.
Now her nose is.
So I know you're not getting a full lesson, but I'm not gonna leave you lopsided, but what I would like you to do whenever you're ready is to slowly get up. Notice how you get up, if it's easier or work, I mean, I don't care, you don't have to like go, oh my gosh, but I want you to walk around just a little bit and then just come back on the table and put you on your opposite side. So I'm just going in and looking at,
I know you can.
now,
Please don't.
you work with me so you can see how the knee starts going to rotations, but now at this point, this would be a force. So if I kept going, you feel how I'm forcing this section of your back, right?
Yeah.
So now before I even work on here, I'm gonna go to the wrist, just to show you the difference.
Okay.
This is just to show the movement and that it's a system, that the way I was pulling on the towel or whatever, and again, I'm not pulling, I'm just touching you. But no, so normally this is what I was just showing you. I don't go like this to people, even though grown adults. If I wanted that kind of, I'd come underneath here and bring the arm, but in this case, I'm gonna allow, because I want that rotation of the system to reflect. So the closer you are to here, see just pressing here, how it touches the iliac crest to make effects. So again, it's right into the ulna and the radius. These are really important to Kobe right now because the way his face was, I hate to say it, ripped open. Even if it was elective,
Right.
it's thrown his rotation. Because of the way he's had to protect the head, it's just like having a pulse sock on. So it's going to affect the whole, so the quicker you can get him back on this, the quicker he can go back to lifting and doing all that. Because when he goes to CrossFit, as you know, that's all rotations.
Yeah, I gave him a couple really long lessons where we watched for all of Pride and Prejudice.
Now feel the difference? Just from that, and now I'm going to go back.
Because he did have a headache for about a week because he was
Yeah.
like this,
Feel the difference? Now again, I'm not quote giving you a lesson, even though yes, your body has changed. I'm really trying to show the system.
Just giving you a demo.
So tighten your wrist. Feel the difference? See, I can't go forward. Let the wrist go. I can go forward or I can go backwards. Also notice too how light you are. So now I'm quickly going to do your foot, just to show you. I can talk baby too. It's okay.
I said that to her in the car and she started crying. He said, I'm sorry, I don't know what I said in baby speak. But I wasn't trying to offend you.
So here I'm just looking at the foot. Now here I can work on her extension and rotation, but little bit of problem with the midline here. See, I can't move her heel up in this position. You can feel a strain in the knee. So now with you, I'll do a little bit different than I did everybody else. I'm going to just take right into the knee. And this is because you did not ice skate as a child.
I did not ask it as a
Oh, I
child.
know you did not ice skate as a child. This is comparing now the two butts.
I fell
See?
down a lot as a
No, I know you
child.
fell down a lot because see, I can't see the rotations
Yeah.
aren't there. They're there, but you can really feel it under your chest cavity.
Yeah.
It's like clunk, clunk right there. Feel it in the chest. There we go. But now, see, I can lift that. So with that, just to see. Now. That's rolling. So now feel getting up from the one side and then getting up from the other.
My spaghetti is getting wetter every week.
Get down and go up both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. Surgery anywhere, the way it affects rotation is the fact that, first of all, our bodies do not like being cut into. It's just not natural. Again, I understand that it is elective surgery, but we're not made to have knives put into us. I mean, we just aren't.
Yeah.
So whether we scratch our arm or it's usually it's when they cut through the epidermis into a muscle. It might only be just this big. It's going to throw the system. However, when you have a larger wound, what it is that area now, because the skin hasn't healed back, gravity's winning. When the wound is open, the gravity just wants to suck that sucker to that opposition of gravity, because the epidermis is not working as a system because it's been cut. Now, granted, I'm not saying never have surgery. What I'm just saying is after surgery, what you need to look at is where the surgery happened and how it affected the rotation. When I had my colon out, let me tell you, I was not even out of anesthesia and I was doing the pelvic clock. And they thought I was having a seizure. I'm like, I'm just doing my movement lessons, go away. Now, first of all, what I didn't notice, which me bad, I'm going to take one pillow out.
Yeah, I was
Sorry.
thinking that, yeah.
You could have said something.
I was listening to you and then I was like,
So her son had facial surgery, but this is what we've just been doing with the babies. I just did this on Mason. So I'm not whop, 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 whipping her head about. I'm looking to see how the nose approaches the ground, as so does the back of the head. So I'm just here. See how her nose is able to rotate towards the ground? You'll get a lot of people where the nose tends to keep going straight. Do you mean? Because the neck is pronated, doesn't want to rotate, bend. Now Bobby does Feldenkrais up the wazoo from doing ATM. She comes here, she's active. So I'm just in here, just rotating the head. And just from that little bit, I'm just going to see if that makes a difference. Do you feel a difference?
Mm-hmm.
Just from that little bit in the head.
mm-hmm.
And if I ask her to tighten, let's say, her hand. So see, I can't bring it back. Or we'll do it this way, clench your jaw. Even more so. Just let the jaw go. You tell her, Grandma's beating me up.
So what direction were you when you were here?
Right?
Did you have both hands? What was
I'll come back.
Okay.
So I'm here, sort of like right in between the mastoid process, because I want to see where the back of the head is going with this.
Right.
Because just like the babies, when the babies go up to crawl, on their bellies,
Are you going straight that way
You
or are
want-
you going?
up here, because you want that lift. So if you were to go on your baby belly like a baby, see how your head will at this point pop
That's
up.
what I wanted.
Right here, there's a little pop. But, so what I was doing here is just, but I'm not left-right. My hands are almost like this, like
Right,
I'm
doing
opening
the-
a jar of mayonnaise. So I'm
Okay.
just doing that figure 8 rotation back and forth. But see, this is where you'll really see complications. So what you might do if you're able, now I want the hand here versus off.
Okay.
Feel the difference. So if I'm here and try and pull the head up,
get molars.
Right.
if you'll have,
What she's
so I'm gonna
doing.
put my whole
I
hand
don't know. I don't think that's typical.
No.
just real
Molars don't
subtle.
usually come until they're a couple years old.
But see how I'm activating the
He's
upper
had these two
vertebrae
get
of
ready
the
to
head.
come in, but he's got.
When
these
he's
two
ready.
coming. Popped through here last week. But that you can see how swollen these
Or
are.
what you can do here, same thing,
So my mom's
hold
trying
hand
to
on
get
chest.
Jacqueline
Her cousin was like a year old and had like no teeth. And
Now you can
her
play
mouth
with
was
this.
so swollen.
Look at
Took her
me,
to the
look up,
pediatrician.
look down at the
She's
table.
just gonna wake up
And
every
so are you
morning with
watching
more
the
teeth.
nose
She did it
primarily,
within
or-
like 3
I'm
weeks. She
looking
had all
at
her
the
teeth.
whole rotation
They
of the
just
head, but
popped
since
in
my arm is
overnight
here,
every
watch the
year.
difference if I'm just arm up, trying to overhead. So the weakness in the neck.
And then 2 weeks
But when I
later,
go
got
like
the other
this,
two,
I'm
and now
stimulating
those
the
other
whole
two
upper
have
with
been
the
pushing
head.
through. So we're gonna wake up one day and they'll be in.
Just when you do that, you're looking off to the side, so he's not getting a whole mouthful of your
Right,
breath.
right.
That fun stuff. There you go. See how nice that is now?
Yeah,
And he'll be able to take it because he's a big burly guy.
yeah,
Can't see it.
But as he's trying to do weights and stuff, right?
right.
See, if he doesn't work on that, when he goes to this, see it's that same shift to bring the weights up. See how the head, that's what I'm working on. It's much more of a weightlifter thing. I don't know if I would have done that to a 94-year-old lady is what I'm trying to say.
Right, yeah.
But he's got to get back into that force, and since he's had all that trauma, you know what I mean? He's going to go and do that, and he's going to hold his breath over the face, and it's going to wreck the lift, and it's going to drop his weight capacity down substantially. So this will just get him more faster. Only because he's a CrossFitter.
Right.
If he was a normal Joe, it wouldn't matter.
Maybe I'll try to bring him to class next week.
But he's competitive.